There is a secret, a sacred, simple truth hidden in plain sight. The world will tell you to work harder, to hustle, to strive endlessly for your desires. And yet, I tell you tonight, the moment you stop trying to get it, you'll have it. You see, the very act of trying implies lack. It confesses separation. To try is to say, I am not. And in this universe, that is law. You become what you are conscious of being. Not what you wish for, not what you beg for, not even what you pray for while believing you are without it, but only what you claim to be. All striving is the voice of the man who has forgotten who he is. You are not a beggar in this world. You are not meant to chase the crumbs of your own inheritance. The kingdom is within you. Everything you could ever desire already exists, not out there in the world of effects, but here, now, in the world within. And it is by entering into the feeling of already having that which you desire that it must take shape in your outer world. Do not confuse this with passivity. This is not idleness, it is inner mastery. The world is but a mirror, reflecting the arrangement of your inner conversations. Your assumptions harden into fact. So if you assume, I must work harder to get it, you will find endless work and no reward. But if you assume it is already mine and live from that truth, quietly, faithfully, then the world must bow to that arrangement. It is done unto you as you believe. Now consider this: when you have something, you do not reach for it. You do not doubt it. You do not strive toward it. You act from it. A man who is wealthy does not wonder if he is. A woman who is loved does not question it with every heartbeat. They do not reach, they rest. And because they rest in the state, the world confirms it. So I urge you, stop trying to get it. Stop reaching for what already belongs to you. Instead, close the door, go within, and dare to feel what it would feel like if your desire were fulfilled. Do not look for evidence, become the evidence. Feel the tones of reality, walk in that new state, speak from that state, fall asleep in it. Trust that your inner world is the cause and your outer world the effect, and then let go. Do not check the soil every morning to see if the seed has sprouted. That is doubt disguised as discipline. You have planted it. Now live as though it were done. This is the great art. To dwell in the end, to occupy the state before the senses confirm it. Your only job is to be it now, and the world will reshape itself around you. Not through force, not through desperate action, but through natural unfoldment. The bridge of incidents will appear. People will move, opportunities will rise, and what once seemed impossible will become ordinary. All this begins when you stop trying to get it, and choose instead to be it. Remember, you are not the one seeking. You are the one creating. And the moment you cease striving, you step into knowing. And when you know, it is done. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This is not a metaphor. This is not a poetic suggestion or an inspirational phrase. It is the key, the law, the one principle upon which all manifestation rests. To assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled is to bypass all appearances and step directly into the state of having. It is to abandon the senses and walk by inner conviction. It is to know a truth that your eyes cannot yet see, but your soul already recognizes. You do not wait for the world to give you permission to feel successful, loved, abundant, healed. You feel it now. You claim it now. The world follows. Your inner world is the seed. The outer world is the harvest. What you are conscious of being, you inevitably express. This is not theory. It is law. If you are conscious of being poor, then no matter how hard you try to change your finances, you are planting from the soil of poverty. If you are conscious of being unloved, every action will carry with it the vibration of rejection, and it must be reflected back. The feeling of the wish fulfilled is not about positive thinking. It is not about hope. Hope waits. Assumption claims. When you assume a thing, you move as though it is already true. There is no desperation in assumption. There is no effort. There is only a quiet confidence, a still knowing. You wear the state like a garment, and like a garment, it becomes part of you. The world may call you delusional for imagining what it cannot yet see. But remember, the world is only echoing back what you once assumed. It cannot lead you, it can only follow you. You must understand the subconscious mind accepts as true that which you feel to be true. Not what you wish were true, not what you intellectually affirm, but what you emotionally accept. Feeling is the secret. Your feeling state is the language your deeper self understands. If you feel lack, it says yes. If you feel fulfilled, it says yes. It is always saying yes to what you are. To assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled is to dwell in the end. You do not think about the process. You do not worry about how it will come. You live from the result. If you wanted a letter from someone you love, you would not concern yourself with how it gets delivered. You would simply feel the joy of receiving it, the sensation of holding it, reading it, knowing it is yours. The action of opening the envelope may be days away, but the experience is already lived inwardly. This inner living is what reshapes the outer world. People, places, and circumstances will move in ways you cannot predict. You need not control any of it. Your one responsibility is the state you occupy. Do you live in the state of already having it? Or do you visit it now and then, only to return to the familiar home of doubt? The state you dwell in most consistently becomes your reality. The outer world cannot help but reflect it. This assumption must be vivid, it must be alive. When you imagine, not by watching yourself from a distance, but by stepping into the scene, hearing, touching, smelling, tasting, feeling every part of the experience. Make it natural, make it real. Let it soak into your nerves, your breath, your being. Let it become so familiar that when it appears in the outer world, it feels inevitable. You cannot fool your feeling. You may speak affirmations with your lips, but if your heart trembles in fear or doubt, the deeper self will hear only that trembling. You must go beyond words and reach the inner conviction that it is done, not because the world told you so, but because you dared to believe without seeing. You dared to feel before having, and because of that you will have. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, your actions change naturally. You no longer try to make things happen. You move in alignment. The phone call you make, the person you meet, the decision you take, each will unfold from that inner state. This is not manipulation, it is flow. The world bends to match your inner temperature. You are no longer reacting to appearances, you are authoring them. There is no desire too great, no dream too bold that cannot be realized through this principle. The size of the desire is irrelevant. The law does not care whether you seek a coin or a kingdom. Inner conviction. And conviction is born of feeling. That is the only requirement. Feel it as real, and reality must conform. You may ask, the answer is simple. Until it feels natural. Until you no longer need to remind yourself of it. Until the desire no longer feels like desire, but fact. When the wish fulfilled feels like home, then the world has no choice but to bring you the evidence of what you already know to be true. This is the quiet power behind all great transformation. It is not in striving, it is not in pleading, it is in assuming. To assume is to know. To know is to have. The feeling precedes the fact, that the inner precedes the outer. When you understand this, when you live from it, the need to chase disappears. You no longer ask, when will it come? Because you are too busy dwelling in the joy that it already has. Stop seeking, become what you desire. This is not a clever phrase to remember. It is the very foundation of creation. The mind that seeks is the mind that declares, I do not yet have. It lives in a posture of absence. And the world, being a faithful mirror, that exact vibration, you ask for love and live as one unloved. You seek abundance but identify as one in lack. You look for healing, while confirming with every breath that you are broken. What you are searching for, you are postponing. As long as you seek, you delay. As long as you chase, you deny. To seek is to stand outside your own kingdom and knock endlessly at a door that is already open. You were never meant to beg for what was planted in your heart. You were meant to embody it. Become what you desire. This is not about pretending or acting. It is about identity. It is about stepping into the truth of who you already are. What you desire is not outside you. It is a deeper truth of you calling itself forth. It is your own spirit attempting to remind you of what you've forgotten. The moment you identify as the man who has, the woman who is, the soul that dwells in fullness, the world must rearrange itself around that assumption. You do not receive what you want. You receive what you are. The one who becomes creates. To become what you desire, you must begin within. The outer world will not give you permission. It will offer only the echo of your inner convictions. If you wait for signs, for people to change, for circumstances to make you feel worthy, you will wait forever. But if you begin now, quietly, inwardly, silently, everything changes. You must feel the reality of your desire as if it were already here, and more than feel it, you must live from it. Walk differently, speak differently, think from the end, not toward it. Most people live from a state of postponement. They say, when I get the job, I'll feel confident. When I meet the right person, I'll feel loved. When the healing comes, I'll feel whole. But this is a reversal of the law. You must feel confident to get the job. You must feel love to meet the one who mirrors that love. You must feel whole, and the healing reveals itself. The outside is never the cause. It is the consequence of your self-concept. Change the concept and the world follows. You cannot fake your way into this. The law responds to sincerity, not performance. Becoming is not about faking a smile or forcing a mindset. It is about an inner conviction, a quiet shift in self-perception. You are not acting like a wealthy person to fool the world. You are embodying the consciousness of wealth because that is who you now accept yourself to be. You are not pretending to be loved. You are accepting the truth that love is your natural state, and that nothing can separate you from it except your own refusal to see it. To become what you desire requires stillness, a moment where you turn away from the noise of the senses and ask, who am I in this moment? If the answer is someone waiting, someone wishing, someone lacking, then you must step back and assume the identity of the one who already is. You must walk into that state and dwell there. Let it become your home. Let it become more familiar than your fears, more natural than your doubts. There will be moments where the old self returns. The habit of seeking is strong. You have been trained to look outside of yourself, to measure success by what you see, to define your value by external validation. But the moment you catch yourself chasing again, gently return, withdraw your attention from the world and enter the state again, reclaim it, reestablish it. Becoming is not a one-time act, it is a continual returning to the truth. And what is that truth? That you are already the thing you seek. You are not trying to become anything. You are only shedding the illusion that you are not. The desire you hold is a glimpse of a reality that already exists within. You feel it because it is true. It is not a fantasy. It is a deeper remembrance. It is a signal. It is the voice of your higher self saying, this is who you are now, step into it. But when you become the thing desired, the world must yield. People, places, opportunities, everything bends to match the frequency of your being. You no longer need to force, to convince, to beg, you simply be. And in being you attract, you allow, you receive. The man who becomes success walks into rooms differently. The woman who becomes love sees through different eyes. The soul who becomes healing speaks with a different rhythm. And it is this shift, not in behavior but in identity, that changes everything. Most wait for evidence. But becoming doesn't wait, it chooses, it claims. It accepts now. And the world, though it may lag, must eventually confirm what you have already declared within. You are not here to try. You are not here to prove anything. You are here to remember what is already true about you, and to live from that knowing. Seeking is the mind asleep. Becoming is the soul awake. Your inner state creates your outer reality. This is the law that governs all things, whether you accept it or not. Every condition you see in your world, every relationship, every circumstance, every repeated pattern, they are not accidents, they are mirrors, perfect and unbroken, reflecting the state of consciousness you inhabit most often. The world is not happening to you. It is the outpicturing of your internal arrangement. If your inner state is one of fear, life will offer you situations to justify fear. If your inner state is peace, life will become a series of peaceful encounters. You do not change the world by struggling with it. You change it by adjusting what you are within. You may think your thoughts are private, but they are not. They are written into form. The thoughts you repeat become the beliefs you hold, and the beliefs you hold become the foundation of your world. But more than the thoughts, it is the feeling behind them that molds reality. Thought alone is not enough. You must feel the truth of the thought, live in its emotional climate, breathe in its atmosphere. The state you accept as real emotionally and inwardly will become fact. It has no choice. Reality is obedient to assumption. This is why two people can live in the same world and experience entirely different lives. One dwells in the state of victimhood and finds reasons to prove it every day. The other lives from empowerment and sees doors open with ease. The difference is not in what the world gives them, but in what they give the world through their inner state. Your state is your signal. It is the frequency you broadcast without words. And everything in your life is responding to that signal with perfect accuracy. It does not matter what you say. It does not matter what you pretend. What matters is what you accept as true when the room is quiet and no one is watching. Your inner conversations, the ones that go on when you are alone with your thoughts, these are the builders of your life. If you say, I am successful, but carry within you the feeling of failure, then failure must continue until the inner state is changed. If you speak of abundance but secretly expect bills and lack, then lack will reign, no matter what words you speak. This is law. The law is always working. It is never off. It is not activated by effort or ritual. It is activated by being. Who are you being right now? Not what are you doing, but who are you being? That question matters more than all the outer work you could possibly perform. Because action without inner alignment leads to exhaustion. But aligned being draws results effortlessly. Your state is not fixed. You can change it in an instant. But to do so, you must be willing to let go of the story that keeps you in the old one. Many are more attached to their struggle than they realize. They speak of change, but live in memorized emotions. They do not want to create a new life. They want to keep telling the old story with new results. This is not possible. You cannot carry the consciousness of limitation and expect to find expansion. You must die to the old self. You must step out of the known and into the unseen. To change your outer world, you must first identify the state you are currently living in. Do not judge it. Observe it. Become aware of the thoughts you think most often, the emotions that color your day, the reactions you habitually have. These are clues to your state. Then ask yourself, what state must I occupy for the life I desire to be natural? What must I feel to align with that version of me who already has it? Once you know, assume that state, not by forcing it, but by feeling it. Let it sink in slowly, deeply. Everything begins in the unseen. Before the tree, the seed. Before the form, the image. Before the fact, the assumption. You must go first in consciousness, and the world will follow. This is not about fantasy, it is about creative faith. Faith is not hoping that something will happen. Faith is knowing that it already has, in the only place that matters, within. The outer world is simply catching up. If you want love, dwell in the state of being loved, not in waiting to be chosen, but in knowing that you are already desirable, already enough, already worthy. If you want success, occupy the state of already having achieved it, not in trying to earn your worth, but in knowing your value is already present. Feel the confidence, the calm, the clarity of one who has nothing to prove. If you want healing, assume the state of wholeness. Let go of identifying as someone broken. You are not your condition. You are the awareness that transcends it. Living in the right state does not mean that everything changes instantly, but it does mean the change is certain. From the moment the inner shift occurs, a new pattern is set in motion. The people, the events, the so-called coincidences, they all begin to reflect the new inner arrangement. The bridge of incidents unfolds step by step, leading you from where you are to where you have already arrived within. You cannot fake a state. You cannot visit it once and expect permanent change. You must live in it, breathe in it, dwell in it like it is your true home, and eventually it will be. The world does not resist your desires. It only reflects your assumptions. Shift the state, and you shift everything else.